Before you even go down to the comments below and start talking about the wiring, it's for my power seats. No, it's not permanent. I was just moving my seat back and forth in the middle of me filming too, so I was doing a lot of things today. I'm trying to take my seat out and I couldn't get to the bolts, so I just run some temporary wires out there to move my seat up so I can get it, or to move the seat up so I can get the seat out. But just thought I'd let you know before you go down and comment, be like, look at that wiring mess. Today I'm going to show you how to relocate your coil to up here. Now if you have a 96 and down, it won't have this, so you don't have to worry about moving this somewhere else. You really don't even have to mount your coil up here where I'm mounting mine. This is where I like it, and it's out from the heat and all that fun junk. So I'm going to show you how I relocated mine on this 98. Then stay tuned at the end of the video and I'll show you how clean a 96 and down is. It don't have none of this junk. You don't have to relocate it. It's just pretty much straightforward. You drill holes, put the coil up here, run your spark plug wire up here. But this we have to do a little bit of finagling around and moving some of this junk. Let's go ahead and just pop this up off there. It should just pop right off. Kind of just hang it there for the time being. Just take this bracket off. After you get the bolts out, just kind of pull it up out of there, lay it aside for right now. Then you want to go ahead and start pulling your coil. So after you get your coil unbolted and unplugged, you just go ahead and take it up out of here. Lay it right here for now. I have a lift, so it was a lot easier for me to get underneath to do this. Here and them two. So you'll have a stud, a nut, and a bolt. So just take one of these. You just want to put one over there. You just want to go ahead and tighten them down on both sides. Now your older Cherokees will only have one side for ground. Then you should be left with something like this. But as you can see, I want the bracket, I want the coil to face towards the motor, and the bracket sets down in. So if I take the bracket and flip it over, it sets up out of the way. But I need to take the coil off and flip it. So you see what I'm saying? I want it to set up in the air, because if you just leave it stock like this, I've not flipped the coil yet, and bolt it, it sets way down in the wiring harness and stuff. I mean, you can do it that way, but I don't like it that way. So what I do is I flip the bracket up here, and then I flip the coil. So I'm going to run it like this. So all I'm going to do is take these nuts and bolts out and leave the bracket the way it is and flip the coil itself, and then bolt it back to the bracket. Then we'll drill our holes. Alright, the bracket is in the stock location like I said. I want the groove the other way. So what we're going to do is take the coil like this, flip the bracket this way, put the coil on top, just like that right there. Now we can go ahead and test fit this, since it's up this way instead of like this. Now there is a vacuum line in here. Make sure you do not drill through it. Just be very careful. After you got your holes drilled, see I just nutted and bolted it. You can put some tape around there so don't rub your wiring harness or get shorter bolts and go down through the other way. You'll never have to take the bracket off again. You'll just have to take the coil off, which is pretty easy. So now we move on to the plug. As you can see, I got mine spliced for a tachometer. Your older Jeeps will have green and black. This one has white and green and orange. So what you want to do is cut this plug off. Cut off, you can go ahead and skin these wires back. And what you want to do is get you some wire, some extra wire from Advanced or an old car you have laying around or a whole another Jeep. Just some wiring that's kind of the same gauge, and kind of run it around here where you can hook it up. So that way you can hook it up and it's out of the way. This is to the AC. But after you get all your wiring wired up, you want to go ahead and take the coil wire off. Lay it up here. Now you want to go 1, 2, 3, the 4th cylinder back. Find it on your cap. Put it on the top where the coil wire goes. Which can be a pain. Alright, it's on there. Now, depends how deep this is. You might have to trim the boot. In my case, I don't have to. That should hold you off until you can get another wire. And here it is on the 4-cylinder. And like I said, I run this right up here. So now we need to get to mounting this thing back where we're going to mount it. What I did was bolt this back in the stock location. But the second bolt hole, I drilled a new hole. I zip screwed a new hole, so it's kind of offset so it stays away from the plug. There it is. That's on the newer model. Looks like on the older style. As you can see, your evap crap's down here, and there's a lot more room. As you can see, I just put the bolts down through, and I used a smaller bolt because I didn't have an extra bolt laying around. Because there's a lot more room to actually get up underneath here than the newer models. So that's basically did the same thing. Before you guys comment below about my wiring, the red and the brown wire, it's nothing permanent. I was in the middle of moving my seat forward because for some reason my switches don't work, so don't freak out over the wiring mess over my motor. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. Don't be skittish about cutting up wiring. It's no big deal. You can always put it back to stock if you wanted to, but I like it away from heat and water. Keeps it from cracking, and as you've seen, mine was a little cracked, so I need to get a new one anyway. So, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Go check out treadright.com. Check out all my social media. They will be in the description below. I'm Cherokee Ronnie. Stay dirty, my friends.